Welcome to Bulgaria for the third and final day of the 7th round of the World Rally Championship. The first 2 days here have been dominated by Citroën, with reigning world champion Sébastien Loeb very much to the fore, demonstrating that he is still the man to beat on tarmac. He has been ably supported by Dani Sordo. The Spaniard is set to be replaced in the Citroën team by rising star Sébastien Ogier for the remaining gravel events this season. But he has so far shown that he's still a real contender on sealed surfaces. He holds second, but he will have to fight all the way today to hang on to that position, as Petter Solberg in the privately entered Citroën spent yesterday afternoon eating into Sordo's advantage. The Norwegian will start the day less than 5 seconds off that second place. It's been a disappointing time for the Ford team here. Mikko Hirvonen and Jari-Matti Latvala were well off the pace on the opening day, and any chance of a recovery yesterday was scuppered by a poor tyre choice in the morning. Expecting the roads to be dry, they opted for a hard compound rubber, but were caught out by a local rainstorm in the opening stage.
A bit wrong with the information, and we had a hard tyre on. So that's it. I mean, I tried to come as fast as I could, but there's just no grip, so I couldn't do any better.
There were some pluses for Ford, primarily the pace shown by PG Anderson. The former WRC champion is having a one-off drive in a Stobart Focus, and he will start the final day in 7th. The man who he's replaced is Henning Solberg, but he's still here, giving the Fiesta S2000 a run. And he's been enjoying these stages in the car on which Ford's WRC entry will be based next season. And Henning will start this final day in 10th position. At the top, Loeb's lead is just over 40 seconds, while Dani Sordo in second is just 4.7 seconds ahead of Petter Solberg in third. That will be the battle to watch today. Sébastien Ogier is next in the standings, meaning Citroën hold the top 4 positions. Mikko Hirvonen is the first, Ford in 5th, the best part of 3 minutes off the lead. Head south from the Bulgarian capital Sofia and you will reach the ski resort of Borovets in the Rila Mountains, where this event is based. From here, the crews will head out to tackle 4 tarmac stages today, totaling 95 kilometres. Day 3 features another compact route made up of 2 long mountain roads repeated. At just under 30 kilometres, Mohovo is the longest and features a lot of surface changes as it climbs up and down the hills. The rally will finish with the second pass through the Slavovitsta stage, which includes some fast-flowing sections that should provide a spectacular finale to this new event. After Saturday morning's rain and fog, competitors left the service park under clear skies on the final morning with warmer temperatures of 21 degrees Celsius. Tyre choice, at least a straightforward process for Sébastien Loeb, who's under starter's orders before the final charge to the finish. As we've often seen in tarmac events in recent years, the world champion is in a comfortable position for the final day. The Citroën Total driver's focus will be to keep the car on the road. Seb's teammate Dani Sordo has a much less comfortable morning ahead. The Spaniard just 4.7 seconds in front of former world champion Petter Solberg. Dani, of course, has the added pressure of securing manufacturer points, which his rival doesn't need to worry about, but he'll still be determined to hold on to second place for personal pride.
Izquierda 8 corta, centierra 3 poco larga y poco bote exterior. Centierra 3 poco larga y se abre.
2 minutes later, it's Solberg's turn to take on the 29.5-kilometre Mohovo test. The Norwegian has said he'll be happy with a podium finish, but with second place within touching distance, the natural racer inside will be hard to resist. It's already been a terrific first rally with new co-driver Chris Patterson. The calm Osterman seems a perfect foil for the fiery Petter. Up ahead, Loeb continues to make it look easy. Again, a very tricky mixture of smooth and rough tarmac here. Seb may be cruising, but he'll need to maintain his renowned concentration and focus all the way to the finish. Some incredible views here as the Frenchman passes over a dam. He clears stage 11 with no dramas, and Citroën's #1 edges a little closer to yet another dominant tarmac win. There's another tricky descent from the Rila Mountains here in Machado. Danny Sordo really working hard behind the wheel as he seeks to hold off Peter Solberg.
Derecha 8 a fondo, 60. Y derecha 6, muy rápida, 50 fuera.
And that's the first of today's 4 stages safely negotiated. But does Danny think he's done enough to stay in second?
Last bar was really difficult because it's very close with the vegetation and every corner is close a little bit. So I try to don't push a lot the tires for have a really good car at the end.
Danny finding that tricky downhill finish a tough proposition. Then back in the stage, Peters attacking hard through the same section. He's sideways there. That's his target time to snatch second. I don't think he can do it here. No, he's going to be slower. But he has trimmed the gap slightly. Sordo now just 3.8 seconds ahead.
So much at the end.
It is now under 4 seconds. The pressure is on Sordo, not on Solberg.
I have nothing to lose. I'm just doing, like I say, no risk at all. This third place is so important for me. So if I get him, I get him. But it will be nice.
Over a minute behind the fight for second, Sébastien Ogier remains in a comfortable 4th position. It could have been so different but for one misheard pace note on day 1, but the Frenchman has recovered well since then. There's a bit of concern with an alarm sounding inside the car, so close to the finish line. A technical problem now would be hard to take. Slides through these gravel-covered corners, but Sébastien does make it through the first stage unscathed. Beating Sébastien Loeb on tarmac may have been a tall order, but after extensive work on the team's tarmac performance, Mikko Hirvonen has had a frustrating weekend. The Finn starts today in 5th, but almost 45 seconds behind Ogier. Mikko actually enjoys the challenge of tarmac rallying, but has again been soundly beaten by the Citroens. You can see how hard these cars are pushed on this flat-out descent from Mikko's bumper cam here. Hirvonen looks unlikely to improve on 5th, but in that battle for second, Peter Solberg continues to edge closer to Sordo. The gap between them now just 3.8 seconds. Loeb's lead out front remains safe. Can Sordo hold off Peter? The battle continues after the break. Welcome back to Bulgaria, where the Rila Mountains are playing host to a thrilling fight to the finish between Danny Sordo and Peter Solberg. The next challenge is the 18 kilometres of Slavovica. There are no battles for rally leader Sébastien Loeb to worry about. Another fast, wide, sweeping section here for the Frenchman to enjoy as he continues serenely on his way. He really has treated the Bulgarian fans to another masterclass of control and precision this weekend. Back to that exciting scrap for second. Meanwhile, after losing ground to Peter Solberg on the previous test, Danny Sordo knows he has a fight on his hands to hold on to his position. Let's take a look at Danny's onboard telemetry through another of these blisteringly quick sections.
Izquierda 7 a fondo 70. 7 a fondo 70. Derecha 8 a fondo.
Look at that, an incredible 216 kilometers an hour briefly there on bumpy tarmac. You won't see much quicker speeds than that this season. And some frighteningly quick corners here too. Sordo is really on it this morning. Peter Solberg's rigid setup works well in stage 11, but in Slavovica, his C4 is less suited to the conditions through these more slippery early kilometres. He adopts a more cautious approach with the car feeling nervous on the dirty sections of asphalt, and begins to lose some ground. He's 5 seconds down at the 10-kilometre split time. Sordo responding well to the challenge then. He'll know he's up in this stage and he's clearly still pushing to extend his advantage. A terrific drive here from Danny to hold off the most experienced driver in the field. The battle for second taking another twist then. Has Petter recovered any ground through the second half of stage 12? The finish boards are fast approaching.
4 opens and 6 left, half long, tightens a little.
He's going to be slower.
Okay.
Yeah, but Solberg did make a late recovery. He's only lost 2.7 seconds to Sordo by the end of that stage. In his first outing in a World Rally Car since a private entry in a Skoda Fabia early in 2009, meanwhile, PG Anderson continues to hold it steady in 7th place. Another driver who'll be more than happy with his Bulgarian outing is Peugeot privateer Frigay Turan. The Hungarian should now make the short trip home on the back of an impressive 8th place finish and a handful of World Championship points. Behind Turan's Peugeot 307 on the leaderboard is a frustrated Matthew Wilson. The British driver has really struggled to find confidence on his first tarmac rally for several months. He's changed the ride height for the final day, but is still languishing down in 9th position.
Right 6:30, right 4.
Regular Stobart Ford runner Henning Solberg has switched to the normally aspirated S2000 Fiesta for this event. The Norwegian has been very impressed with the new car, which could provide a bright future for Ford. Henning is in 10th. No change in position after the morning loop, but Sordo has extended his advantage in second slightly following that fastest time in stage 12. His lead over Petter Solberg is now 6.5 seconds, but with another 47 kilometres to run, this battle is still very much alive. We saw Danny Sordo hitting some impressive speeds in that stage. Let's compare him against his rivals through that section with Virtual Spectator. The 3 Citroens locked together early on, Hirvanen's Ford already trailing. But Sordo was comfortably the fastest, 13 kilometres an hour faster than Solberg and 17 quicker than Hirvanen. But it's not all about straight line speed. You can see there Solberg carrying more speed through the long corners that follow. Just 2 stages remain then to decide the outcome of the first ever WRC Rally Bulgaria. Sebastian Loeb is already on his way into the second pass through the 29.5-kilometre Mahobo stage and enjoying his Sunday afternoon drive for what has been another faultless driving display. There are plenty of dirty patches of bumpy tarmac around though. Caution, the order of the day for the world champion. Position still very much up for grabs in this final pair of stages. Can Petter Solberg make up 6.5 seconds over the last 47 kilometres?
200 up to the chicane. Left into 1 right, 1 left. 80. Unseen. 4 right minus tightens neat. 1 plus opens. Half long and tightens cut neat.
Full Petter completely sideways on the gravel covered tarmac there. He's still pushing. Danny Sordo is the man being hunted. It's been a mature, controlled rally so far for the man from Santander, but he'll be feeling the pressure as the Bulgarian event draws to a tense climax.
What will Olivier Canel be saying to you? Get the points for the manufacturers or get second?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. I am not to speak with Olivier, so not to speak today. But of course I need to keep the points for the manufacturers, but for me I want to try to win in second, no?
Solberg and Chris Patterson are still right on the limit, but Petter learned in New Zealand these last-minute charges do not always go to plan.
100.
Close call at that gravel-covered corner. Petter a bit wide on the exit.
Plus into. Slight right opens long to keep left over crest 56 right tightens 5 plus tightens a little keep in
Yet another slippery corner there. This second loop becoming a real challenge, especially when on the attack. That's Solberg's target time to break into second place.
50. Slight right 150. Keep middle over extra long.
Well, he's not going to do it here.
50. Keep left over crest. Okay.
Petter's made up another second, but is it too little too late?
Very quickly, didn't he?
It sounds like he had tyre problems in there.
I lost 2 seconds at the end there. Lost 2 seconds at the end.
Why? What happened?
I just stopped up in the gravel. So that was
Petter's unhappy, but it's certainly still doable. With just under 18 kilometres left, he's 5.5 seconds behind Sordo's second place. Ogier, Hirvonen and Latvala continue to make up the rest of the top 6, while up front, Loeb's lead stands at around half a minute. Second place is still to be decided, while Sebastian Loeb has just one stage between himself and victory. Join us again after the break. Welcome back to sunny Bulgaria, where just one stage remains between Sebastian Loeb and an incredible 58th career win, while Dani Sordo and Petter Solberg are still fighting it out for second. Kimi Räikkönen has continued to impress since his restart after a frustrating day one crash. He's fought his way back up from 26th to 11th place, but it looks as though he'll fall just short of breaking back into the point-scoring places. Whoa! Well, that's definitely decided it now. Let's take another look. Yeah, he just got his braking point completely wrong and ploughs straight on into the bushes. Look at the clock. A lot of time lost already. Kimi helped out of the ditch by a former F1 supporter, maybe. They do get back on the road, but that late trip into a ditch has cost the Finn almost a minute. He's enjoyed himself on tarmac, but in contrast to Räikkönen, Mikko Hirvonen must be looking ahead to the tarmac rally still to come with nothing but dread after what's been a torrid weekend for the Ford team. They're still trailing their French rivals on sealed surface events, and with half the season still to come on asphalt, Mikko's title chances now look very bleak indeed. Hirvonen finishes as the leading Ford in 5th. Sébastien Ogier is another Citroën driver who's recovered well after an early setback. We've not had much chance to judge the Frenchman's true tarmac pace, but a fastest time on the final stage of the rally is a sign that he could improve on 4th place in the asphalt events left this season. Dani Sordo's had a frustrating year so far, being regularly outshone by Citroën's new hotshot Ogier. But back on his happy hunting ground on tarmac, the Spaniard knows he's one of the quickest drivers on the planet. Dani has set his marker for Solberg to chase. At the stop control, he seems to think he's done enough. Dani, congratulated by his father. Second place would be his best result of the season to date. So it's down to Petter then. And that small mistake on the penultimate stage seemed to rattle the Norwegian. Can he do anything about his 5.5 second deficit? No, he's not going to do it. Solberg settles for 3rd, but that's still a fantastic result on his first rally with new co-driver Chris Patterson.
well done. Good job. Honestly, I'm very, very happy. 3rd place, and we are getting faster and faster all the time. The car has been perfect, and we were very nervous before the rally, I can tell you. And at the same time, you know, I said it yesterday, 3rd place is more than enough for me.
Even the considerable skills of Solberg and Sordo, though, couldn't match the performance of Sebastian Loeb. The Frenchman's hold on the front spot has been ruthless. He's not been challenged from start to finish. With the hard work already done, his final day has been a breeze. He maintains his unbeaten run on tarmac, and that's 58 wins for Loeb and Monaco-born co-driver Daniel Elena. It's now surely a case of when, rather than if, Loeb secures championship number 7.
It has been perfect. Very good first day. Then second day, difficult condition. Just it was important to keep the rhythm, not to make a mistake. And today, just no risk and cruising. But yeah, for sure, it's a perfect weekend and some very important points for the championship.
So Sebastian claims the first ever WRC Bulgaria win by just under half a minute, while Sordo pips Petter Solberg to second by just 6.8 seconds. It's another disappointing return for Hirvonen, while Ogier ensures Citroën claimed the first ever top 4 lockout since Toyota at Safari in 1993.
Olivier, a historic moment for Citroën, the first time you've claimed the top 4 places.
Yeah, I heard it's the first time for the brand, for Citroën, so it's I'm very pleased, and I hope maybe next time we will be 5 with Kimi.
Seb, congratulations, another standout performance on tarmac.
Yeah, it was really a good performance again on tarmac, another victory, the first of the season on tarmac, so it's a good news for the future. We have 3 tarmac rallies coming, so I'm really happy to win here.
The last person to beat Sebastian Loeb on tarmac was Marco Martin in a Ford in 2004-2005. So that's, you know, he's been unbeaten on asphalt. So you know, they've got a very strong driver lineup, and it's going to be very difficult. But we'll not be giving up, that's for sure.
Loeb's 4th win of the season sees him on 151 points. Ogier keeps second, 51 behind Loeb. Mikko Hirvonen's third, but now 65 points adrift of the championship leader. Petter Solberg has closed the gap on 4th place Latvala to just 2 points. In the manufacturers' standings, that dominant weekend for Citroën means for the 2nd rally in a row they extend their lead over Ford by 21 points. They are now 47 ahead. And after a stunning debut, it's Petter Solberg's new co-driver Chris Patterson who's awarded the Abu Dhabi Spirit of the Rally after the pair put in a fantastic performance to finish the rally 3rd. You'll find a full review of all the spills and thrills from Rally Bulgaria on WRC.com. Plus, there's a preview to the next event as the crews prepare to head to Finland, the spiritual home of rally. But here in Bulgaria, it's Loeb who's back to his winning ways, celebrating his 58th career victory. And Chris Patterson gets a drenching on his first ever WRC podium. It's been another dominant display from the championship leader. Ford's Finns will be out for revenge on home turf, but for now, from Bulgaria, it's goodbye.